Assalamualaikum ladies and gentlemen. During Ramadan, for those who are fasting, you might feel hungry, thirsty, sleepy and tired of course. You may crave for KFC, McD, kuih muih, fresh fruits and other tasty foods. Due to these challenges, you tend to lose focus and attention on what you should be learning. In order to keep you always on track, let's review the previous issues in Module 5. Do you still remember about Mastura? Last week, she had explained on 6 issues related to digital security risks. The first issue is hardware theft. Second, unauthorized access and use. Third, wireless security. Fourth, internet and network attacks. Fifth, software theft. And sixth, information theft. Before I discuss in details about the rest of the topics in Module 5, let me start with pantun. Angin bayu berpuput perlahan, sinar mentari menyilaukan mata. Padamu sekalian, saya persembahkan sambungan kepada modul kelima. Maya, Adam dan juga Norman. 3 sekawan saya perkenalkan. Teknologi datang membawa perubahan. Inilah tajuk yang mereka bincangkan. Since Maya, Adam, and Norman are millennials, they are very tech-savvy and always keep updating with the constant flow of technology. Today, they will offer their expertise to assist you with technology ethics. The use of technology in many areas of our life leads to the creation of a new branch of ethics known as technology ethics. Technology ethics is a system of moral principles which affects how people make decisions with the advent of technologies. Let us consider these 2 situations and how it's related to ethics. First situation. Is it ethical or unethical to duplicate copyrighted digital content you found online? Don't be surprised if you get different answer. Several people may think it is ethical as long as it brings benefit to them. Others may not agree. It is absolutely unethical to download and duplicate the digital content without the author's approval. Second situation. Is it ethical or unethical for a business to collect customers' data and then sell it to another businesses? For business-minded persons, they may think such action is part of their business strategy. Since they already have the data, they think they own it. Of course, for them, it is ethical to do so. But public may think It is not ethical to share and sell customers' personal information without customer permission. So, from these situations, we can conclude one thing. Whatever choices people have to make are constrained by how they exercise their ethical values. Technologies continue to have a greater impact across society. Originally, digital devices such as computer, laptop, smartphone, and television make our life easier. Likewise, it is more easy to communicate and access essential services such as finance, trade, education, and health. But the progress of technologies, especially in communication, may also give harmful impact on our life. For example, the spread of fake news about the recent outbreak of COVID-19 in social media. People just share whatever stories they get in social media, regardless whether it is true or not. That is why ethics are so important in helping us to differentiate from what is good and what is bad. Hashtag tak pasti, jangan kongsi. There are 5 main areas of technology ethics. 1. Information accuracy. 2. Intellectual property rights. 3. Code of conduct. 4. Green computing. And 5. Privacy. Next, Maya, Adam, and Norman explain on how technology relate to information accuracy. Technology in communications make possible for dissemination of information anywhere around the world. Regrettably, technology does not guarantee the accuracy of information. What is the meaning of accuracy? Accuracy is the quality of being correct and without any mistake. Mistakes can occur when humans make errors or software has not been updated. It is usually unrealistic to obtain information that is 100% accurate, especially on the internet. However, it is important to be accurate enough to help the users make their decision. Let us take a look at this example for consideration. Incorrect data on statistics maintained by one of the websites has shown an increase in birth rate within an area. So based on this false data, the government may wrongly make a decision to build more schools in that area. With the same data, the construction companies may wrongly invest more in a new housing development. In conclusion, for both cases, decisions made based on false information may result in waste of resources and losses. Maya, Adam, and Norman continue on how does technology affect intellectual property. Intellectual property, or IP, is defined as an idea, invention, art, writing, or process that derive from the work of the mind or intellect. IP is protected by intellectual property rights, where it is the rights to which holders are entitled to their work. Technology itself comes as a tool to assist the IP right holders. But technology also made it easier for unauthorized person to download and copy the copyrighted works. For this reason, the fortune of IP right holders remain uncertain unless there is a new assurance of IP protection by court of law. Always, IP right holders suffer losses due to some technical threats such as piracy, plagiarism, cracking, distribution, and modification of their original works. What is piracy? Piracy means someone illegally made a copy of software, movies, and music, even though these creations are protected by the copyright. These pirated copies are then sold at substantially lower prices in the grey market. Another one is plagiarism. Plagiarism is an act of copying and publishing another person's work without proper citation. And finally, cracking. Cracking is a way of skipping the registration and authentication steps when installing a software. In conclusion, imbalances in action and protection of intellectual property can result in fatal losses among the right holders. Code of conduct is a formal guideline used to determine what is ethical and what is not ethical. It is not strictly compulsory to follow this code, but it is basically for the benefit of the users. Code of conduct should be communicated via notice board, handbook, and induction training to encourage compliance among users. 3 examples of code of conduct are as follows. 1. Technology may not be used to harm other people. 2. Employees may not meddle in others' files. 3. Employees may use technology only for purposes in which they have been authorized. In conclusion, Code of Conduct can be useful but not comprehensive. So, users might as well control their behavior and exercise good ethical values when dealing with technologies. One of the main problems facing the world today is a climate change. The average temperatures keep rising as human continues to use up a lot of trees and waste tons of computer energy. Computers and related hardware may even contain toxic chemicals which negatively impact the quality of our environment. So the term green computing is introduced to address this issue. Green computing involves reducing the electricity and environmental waste while using computers, mobile devices, and related technologies. Maya, Adam, and Norman give 2 suggestions to make technology healthy for environment. One, conserve energy by using computers and devices that comply with the Energy Star program. You should not be leaving a computer and device running overnight. Also, you should be shutting down electrical devices when not in use. Number 2. Reduce environmental waste by using paperless methods to communicate, recycling paper and buying recycled paper, recycling toner and ink cartridge, computers, mobile devices, printers, and other devices. Lastly, using video conferencing for meetings. In conclusion, everyone must participate in green computing to save the planet. Maya, Adam, and Norman believe people are more likely to be threatened by phishing, spyware, adware, cookies, and social engineering technologies. People's ability to control personal information has eroded substantially every time they use cloud services, Internet of Things, and social media. Likewise, privacy is relinquished by the monitoring and tracking ability of cookies, employees monitoring software, electronic profiles, and content filtering. Almost nothing is private anymore, Maya, Adam, and Norman said. When someone has a digital conversation or make a purchase, personal details are recorded. That record of information is shared with a third party, which then sell the data to marketing and internet advertising firms. Even though disclosure or misuse of information about private individuals are prohibited by privacy laws, you should limit what you share online. Always keep your personal data private. Are cookies threat to privacy? Cookies themselves are not harmful. They cannot infect computers with viruses or other malware, although some cyber attacks can hijack cookies and therefore browsing sessions. The danger lies in their ability to track individuals' browsing histories. There are many ways to minimize the risk. Let's learn them by watching this video.
Most of us think of Google as a search engine, but it's also an ad agency. Hi there, I'm Jeremy Clark, a professor at the Concordia Institute for Information Systems Engineering. Today we're going to demystify internet cookies. So all of you have certainly heard about the delicious types of cookies, and most of you have heard about internet cookies. To help understand this concept, I'm going to tell you a little story about Alice. So let's say that Alice gets a brand new tablet. She opens the box, turns it on for the very first time. At this point, she's completely anonymous. She decides she wants to go and find some boots to buy. So she goes over to Google, and at this point, a cookie's born. Think of a cookie as a serial number that websites assign to their users to track them around their platform. As Alice looks through her search results, she notices a pair of boots from her favorite shoe store and clicks on the link. By default, a cookie from one website can't follow you onto another website. However, Alice's favorite shoe company, like most of the top million websites, has a business relationship with Google. This allows Google's cookie to follow Alice through the virtual doors of the shoe store, like a little digital stalker. Alice gets bored of looking for boots, so she decides to go over to a message board to chat about her favorite show, Black Mirror. On the message board, she sees an ad for the exact boots she was just looking at. So what's going on here? Most of us think of Google as a search engine, but it's also an ad agency. The chat room in this case has outsourced its ads to Google. And because Google has a cookie that followed Alice from the search page to the shoe site and now to the message board, it knows exactly what ads it can serve to Alice that she's likely to click on. Using cookies in this way is prevalent on the modern web. Of the million most popular websites, Google can trace you across about 50 to 80% of them, while Facebook can track you across a third. Now, all of this may sound very scary. You should know that cookies are primarily used for advertising. However, there are more nefarious uses. For example, websites have started selling digital dossiers to political campaigns for micro-targeting. Now, you may be wondering what you can do to stop this. The truth is, it's pretty much impossible to live a cookie-free existence, as cookies also serve practical functions that make the web easier to use. However, there are some small tweaks you can make to your browser settings to help protect your privacy. First, you should disable third-party cookies. Second, you should enable Do Not Track, which prevents companies that are compliant with Canadian law from using cookies to trace you. The third thing you might use is private browsing mode, which gives you a fresh identity, sort of like when Alice turned on her new tablet for the first time. This is why digital privacy is such an important issue moving forward. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Phishing is a cybercrime in which targets are contacted by email telephone or text message requesting them to verify online financial and confidential information. These are the techniques that you can follow to avoid phishing. 1. Always be cautious with shortened links. 2. Browse the secure websites whenever possible. 3. Don't download unknown files from unknown sources. 4. Change password for all your accounts. 5. Observe carefully your credit report and bank accounts. However, these techniques may not be enough because new phishing scams are being developed all the time. This video shows how phishing attacks and how it can be prevented.
You've seen the headlines. Maybe you were one of those affected. You've changed your passwords for all of your accounts. You watch your bank statements and credit reports. You can rest easy now, right? Wrong. Anyone with an email account is a potential victim for a digital attack. And there are more than 100 million phishing attacks every single day. Phishing is when a cyber criminal sends out a mass email trying to trick you into opening an attachment or hyperlink in order to steal your sensitive data. Spear phishing is a more targeted form of a phishing attack. The attacker uses information about you, acquired through social engineering, to convince you to trust the email and its content. Where do they get this information? It could be from large data breaches, or from social media sites if you haven't maximized your privacy settings. Let's take a look at an example of a spear phishing attack. You receive an email from what appears to be your favorite online shopping site. The email doesn't surprise you because you do have an account with them. The logo and colors seem authentic, but look closer. First, look at who this email is from. This clearly is not an email address associated with the shopping website. Next, look for spelling errors, grammatical mistakes, and poor syntax. Almost always, these emails will direct you to click on a link or open an attachment. Let's look at the link this sender included. The name may look authentic, but by hovering your mouse over it, you can see where the link actually goes. Seem less authentic now? Never open any suspicious attachments or hyperlinks. These often contain viruses designed to steal your passwords, weaken your security, or even seize control of your computer, almost always without you knowing about it. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Delete suspicious emails. Never open attachments or hyperlinks from unknown senders. Be wary of unusual email from people you know. If the email has a random link and nothing else, it's probably not the person you know sending it. If you receive an unusual communication from your bank, credit card company, or some other commercial entity, contact them directly to verify. Know the risk. Raise your shield.
Of course, you may not be able to detect spyware and adware at all, but few things may indicate infections. 1. Your browser or device seems unusually slow. 2. Pop-ups that appear outside of your browser or when you are offline. 3. your device notifies you that you are running out of hard drive space unexpectedly. Do you still remember what is spyware? Spyware is a kind of malware. Spyware infects your computer in order to gain access to sensitive information like passwords or banking details. Whereas adware is unwanted software that is usually downloaded by mistake. Once adware hijacks your device, it might throw advertisement pop-ups on your screen. Adware may put you at risk of identity theft and fraud if the software creators sell your information to third parties. If you suspect spyware and adware has compromised your devices, there are a few steps you can take to remedy the infection. First, backup your files regularly. Second, you can try to remove the infections through the use of spyware and adware remover. Social engineering relies heavily on manipulating humans into breaking normal security procedures. It often involves interaction with the target through the use of phone calls and other media on the network systems. Normally, social engineers or people hackers trick people into handing over access to the person or organization sensitive information. Next video will show you how hackers use social engineering to breach onto personal data.
Please, no more SPM tuition. No more SPM tuition. How many of you are scared?
So I invited a few of the world's best hackers to try to hack me and show me where my vulnerabilities are. And now I'm going to meet them in Las Vegas for DEF CON, the biggest hacker convention of the year. They're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it. Who are you going to call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm going to spoof from your number, so it's going to look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. my husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for usage information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
at gmail.com.
Jessica gets access to my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account.
Jess uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry, so there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thanks you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yeah.
Shortly, I will end up this session. So, it is time for Maya, Adam, and Norman to leave you with pantun. Singgah ke kedai, membeli belah, teringin t-shirt, gambar kartun. Cerita kami tamatlah sudah. Terima kasih kerana menonton.